Hello and welcome, I'm Kayla Scrivener, and today I'm going to be reacting to the Scotiabank Giller Prize shortlist. This is one I actually wanted to film everything through because I'm a Canadian, I love Canadian literature, and the day that it came out, I got everything set up and I was just having a terrible health day, and I ended up filming the beginning of the reaction and I couldn't finish. It's very interesting to me because the way that they choose to format the timing between things is similar to the Booker Prize and yet slightly different. The Booker Prize normally has its long list released in July, has the shortlist released in September, and then the prize is kind of around the teens of October. That one we have a lot of time to read the long list, a lot of time to kind of soak it in and have time. And this one is slightly different. I'm not going to look up the exact dates because I don't want to be spoiled at the beginning of the video. However, the long list was announced on the 6th and the shortlist is now being announced on the 27th, which is only 3 weeks. It is not a lot enough time to actually read it, and I was kind of killing myself because I was like, oh, I want to read these books and I wanted to, but my September has just been crazy that I haven't read any of them. So the prize is going to be announced, I think around the 20th of November, somewhere in there. It's interesting to me that the way that this slants toward the shortlist and the Booker slants toward the long list. And I don't know, I think I prefer it slightly more toward the long list because I would like to read all those books. I'm really excited. I really hope Omar is back because he is the author who won it last year. And he's just I don't know, a sweetheart, a cinnamon roll. I don't know him, so I can't say it, but he's just every time he's on, he just makes me smile. He did it with the shortlist and I was just smiling. I'm gonna react to this. Lots of introduction. This is the same commercial they used for the announcement last year. It's just a very young Margaret Atwood. The one thing I was going to say is Minor Course is probably the one that I'm most wanting to. There's a few others that I was super interested in reading. I'm also really happy that Wabasan Rice is one of the judges because he's really awesome.
Live from the Jack Rabinovich Reading Room in the Toronto Reference Library, we are proud to present the 2022 Scotiabank Giller Prize shortlist.
I should probably put a screenshot on it because it's probably not something you can see well, but what I can see is that she's just leaning and behind her is just a very odd couple with very great faces. I love it. I'm assuming they're the Rabovich, which I can't say very well, especially without seeing it, but I love it. I love it.
And I think especially as we move towards this Truth and Reconciliation Day, it's important to remember the stories that took place here, that were taken and that were twisted, so that as we move forward, we can move forward in a better way, a way that's grounded in truth with the hope of reconciliation. The shortlist was selected by an esteemed 5-member jury featuring award-winning Canadian authors Kai Kello and Waukesha Rice, as well as jury chair Casey Plett. It also features American authors Katie Kitamura and Scott Spencer. Before, of course, there's always a teaser, right? Before we get to the actual list, and let me tell you, it's a good one. Before we get to it, I want to...
It's a bit of a lunch bag letdown. You thought the announcement was coming next. No. Sarah will share hosting duties this year with another incredible talent. New York Times bestselling poet, photographer, author, illustrator, activist, Rupi Kaur.
She's back, darling! I love her. I was like, it can't be her. She did it last year. Rupi Kaur is
there. Have Rupi back again with us this year.
She's lovely.
Rupi has connected with readers
around the world through her social media. Oh, my books of hers. Oh, no, one of them is there. Most of my books are over there.
Poetry in their capable
they're
hands.
So cute.
You'll find it pretty much everywhere on the CBC. Okay. CBC TV, CBC Gem, CBC Radio 1, cbcbooks.ca. A whole lot of CBC there. Okay, now I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to hand it back to Jill and she's going to do the big announcement.
I'm still not doing the big announcement, guys. It's still not me. I am going to invite the people who are going to do the big announcement onto the stage.
The first shortlisted author is Kim Fu for her short story collection, Lesser Known Monsters of the 21st Century.
I'm really excited for this one. This seems cool. Just the name, Lesser Known Monsters, guys.
These setups stealthily reveal themselves to be structures for unspeakably moving revelations about the most real of human experiences: grief, anger, mistrust, sex, nostalgia, sacrifice. A deeply emotional collection that delights, dares, and dazzles.
Love how everyone always says sex. She's back. I love this woman. I need to know who she is.
This is my favorite thing. I love this so much, and I love it way better when I don't have a book out the same year.
The hair game is so on point, guys.
The next finalist is Rawihaj Stray Dogs.
One I wasn't as interested in, so I'll see.
Fuse spare, graceful language with world-spanning design. Haunted by war and movement, families fragment and cultures stretch. As the characters cross borders in pursuit of careers and relationships, they are pulled back through fissures in memory. We follow academics and photographers to Montreal, Berlin, and Tokyo.
I'd listen to him read poetry at any time.
Distance between a childhood in rural Lebanon and a privileged adulthood in Beirut. Just as travel is grounded by return, accomplishment is undercut by uncertainty, and urbane arrogance often rests on a foundation of humble circumstances. Movement is met with recurring meditations on the static images of photography. The writing is streamlined and confident, understated and wry.
I just get so excited with each one. Okay, to introduce our next two shortlisted authors, please welcome Waukesha Rice.
Okay, Minor Chorus and Avenue? Avenue is one of them.
Hello, good morning. The next shortlisted title is We Measure the Earth with Our Bodies by Yangsom Lama.
I'm super excited for this, and the library holds are literally like 21 weeks, so I'm devastated that I did not read it in May when I had it out. This cover is so
Through a
amazing.
stirring intergenerational saga that spans decades and continents, Yangsom Lama deftly unearths how exiles create home when their homelands have been stolen. With tender authenticity, We Measure the Earth with Our Bodies delicately and vigorously illustrates the ongoing human cost of Tibetan displacement and the resolve of refugees to uphold a strong diaspora despite the violence of colonialism. Each line carefully bears the weight of longing for what once was and the hope to sustain an uprooted culture still coming to be. Regenerative in spirit, the pages of the story are both an homage to survival and a home for the exiled. I get to do two, double duty. Our next shortlisted title is The Sleeping Car Porter by Suzette Mayer.
I like this one too. I really hope that doesn't mean a minor chorus didn't make it.
Suzette Mayer brings to life, believably, achingly, thrillingly, a whole world contained in a passenger train moving across the Canadian vastness nearly 100 years ago. As only occurs in the finest historical novels, every page in The Sleeping Car Porter feels alive and immediate, and eerily contemporary. The sleeping car porter in this sleek, stylish novel is named R.T. Baxter, called George by the people upon whom he waits, as is every other black porter. Baxter's dream of one day going to school to learn dentistry coexists with his secret life as a gay man. And in Mayer's triumphant novel, we follow him not only from Montreal to Calgary, but into and out of the lives of an indelibly etched cast of supporting characters, and finally, into a beautifully rendered radiance.
I'm really excited for that one.
Announce the fifth and final entry on your to-be-read pile, aka the Giller Prize shortlist. Please welcome Katie Kitaburan.
Everyone has such a great hair game, guys. You should take a picture of them all.
Shortlisted title is If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English by Noor Naga.
I'm glad. This just came out yesterday. Okay, I'm really excited for this one. Another one that I had out from the library.
With startling emotional depth and intellectual rigor, Noor Naga's If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English probes the ethics of identity, desire, privilege, and storytelling. Set in Cairo in the wake of the Arab Spring, the novel tracks the relationship between a troubled Egyptian photographer and an Egyptian-American woman recently arrived in the city. It is at once a love story, a disquisition on politics, an exploration of trauma, and a deft work of metafiction, a slim novel that at times seems almost infinitely capacious. Naga is a bold writer, unafraid of complexity and complication. She is also a magician with language. Every sentence in this exhilarating novel astonishes and provokes. In the end, the relationship Naga probes most urgently is our relationship with language, its power to coerce and control, and its power to liberate.
We love it. I am really, really excited for this list. To go over it again, we have Lesser Known Monsters of the 21st Century by Kim Fu. We have Stray Dogs by Ravi Hage. We have We Measure the Earth Around Our Bodies, The Sleeping Car Porter, If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English. I'm kind of disappointed by their whole thing about truth and reconciliation and stuff like that. Out of the 3 Indigenous authors, they chose none of them. I feel like some people are going to just yell at me for being diverse because I got yelled on my Booker Prize by that and I talked about it a little bit less. Every single shortlisted author is an author of color, actually. So Even though I would have loved to see an Indigenous author on here, especially Billy Ray Belcourt, I can't actually say that there's not like a white author kind of telling a dominant story, taking away from it. We have 3 Asian authors, an Egyptian author, and a Black author, which I really appreciate as representative of Canada. I actually really am excited to read this shortlist because I don't think any of those books I'm like, not really my type. So yeah, let me know what you think about the 2022 Giller Prize. Were you excited? I just love their humor and all of the things. It just made me so happy. I really love Canadian literature. I'm happy to read this, and I would love to hear your thoughts and feelings on this list, on the long list. If you think there should be a longer time between the long list announcement and the short list announcement so that we can get a little more in. But yeah, this was a delightful video to film, and I hope to see you guys all soon.